Today is Tuesday, March 1st, 2016. I am just going to make a quick little video, and I'm going to talk about this interesting book that I've been reading for the past few months. It has been, Christopher and Robert have done an amazing, just an astounding job of finding out where the rituals and words and things that the Freemasons do, where is its origins. And in doing so, they have revealed that the true identity of the Israelites are the Canaanites. And I have several years ago that learned and also spoke with people who knew that the Israelites were a culturalist people, and they were very nomadic, and when they came into the Egypt territory, that they seen that the Egyptians and the Babylonians, that they all had cultures, and they had very religious ways of doing things, and they had kept up with their lineages and documentation, and everything was just done so. And so they saw them as a very rich culture and wanted to be like them. And in their language and in their books, that you can find that their origins to what they say and do come from these territories, these cultures that were quite advanced, and how their king was chosen, and the rituals that they went through, what they had to do, and what the Boaz and the Jachim pillars that were always at the east doorway with the archway. And also interesting to find out that the Israelites are actually the Canaanites. That's where they came from. And they're the ones that you'll see on hieroglyphs, that they've got that wavy type of beard. And but as I've been reading through this, there was a repetition, always, and one that I recognized in our religions. And that is that everything is masculine. Everything is masculine. You never hear about any female. Nothing. There's no femininity in there. And I had decided that in this book, I know my books are going to be passed down, and I am going to put something in this book that will help give a person a key, that when they are studying religions, they always keep in mind this. Now just freeze it so you can read it, because I'm going to move it on up. There's a church in Amarillo, Trinity Fellowship Church, that I helped build, that I was extremely active in. And the pastor Jimmy he gave the best analogy about the difference of concepts, perception that men and women have about God. That men think that they have to climb the biggest mountain, the most baddest mountains, go over the biggest boulders, the thickest of the thickets, the highest cliffs, edges, on and on and on. And when he finally reaches the top, that he is now worthy to enter into the presence of God. Whereas a woman can basically go for where she's standing and literally step into the presence of God. Now, there is a kind of an edge that we do have And that edge is that there is a gland in the brain that is referred to the God gland, or the gateway to God. They know that when this gland is activated, that there is a direct correlation between the rising of one's spiritualism, and being able to feel that connectedness with God, and that's called the pineal gland. Well, there's also one other thing in the body that helps one to achieve that. I call it the God chemical, which is known in layman's and medical terms called estrogen. Men who have had sex changes talk about that all of a sudden, with the introduction of high doses of estrogen in their body, that they have all these emotions and very overwhelmed by it. And not only just overwhelmed, but also just utterly absorbed in the awing of it. And very difficult. People need to have counseling when they are having this hormone introduced into their body. And also when a female becomes male, that I've heard stories of that women go that they're so relieved that they no longer have all these emotions going and all these sensitivities, and that they are just, things are kind of cut and dry. But there are those that this is very difficult to handle, because a lot of them are not prepared to have that kind of almost kind of a disconnectedness when you are used to when you're used to having senses and stuff, and then that's taken away and you got different senses. It can be challenging even for the most balanced or most knowledgeable person. And actually, we all have these hormones in us. For example, it is known that the right side of the body is known as the masculine, aka physical side. The left side of the body is the feminine, spiritual side of the body. When a man consumes a lot of alcohol, and does that pretty consistently, it suppresses the testosterone in his body and increases the estrogen. This is why that men who drink a lot develop man boobs, because of the amount of saturation of estrogen. Very interesting. And as I was reading through this book, is all masculine, and that they were going, it's just God is male, God is only male, and on and on and on. And I just had this kind of a humorous thought of that. If God is a man, if God is male, then why does not God have a wife? How come only humans, males, get to have that wondrous companionship? To know that kind of intimacy, to have helpmates, to be helpmates. Why would they want to deny him of that? I love real men. I love being in their presence. I love interacting with them. They absolutely have all my support. True men. Not males, not dudes, not guys, not boys. Real men. And so the question does beg it. Why is it that why do the men get to have wives, get to have a companion, and God doesn't? Well, actually, God does. There is a book that is written by David Gustafson. It's called The Dictionary of Angels, including fallen angels. And it is one that a library should always have. It is amazing the work that he has accomplished. There was a name that it was said that Christ spoke. And when he did his healings and so on, whenever he was doing the work of God and helping people, but more so when he was doing healings, there was a word, a name of God that he used. Well, years I had hunted that. I'd only get it. First part of the name was Shem, and then another one would say it was Ham. He would say Ham. And I had that book. I had bought it years earlier, The Dictionary of Angels by David Gustafson. And it had fallen down behind the dresser of my bedroom, and I had long moved out. And my mom had found it and brought it to me. Everything has its timing. It's amazing how the timing of things can be. Spirit knows. And she brought it over to me. And lo and behold, there are 72 names of God. And one that kind of resonates, stands most at the top, is Shem Ham Foray. I believe that I am I'm pretty close to saying it right. But here is the spelling of it. Shemham Foray. And I have learned that when I am wanting to accomplish things, that I am in my utterance with my Father, that when I am doing healing type work, prayers, stuff, that when I say this name, I can feel its powerful essence. And I can feel that I know that what I have said will be. And at the time I was coming across that there is about the knowledge, the true knowledge, that there is a female and a male version of God. The female, male, female, masculine, feminine, physical, spiritual, created of itself. The female version, and the female version of God is called Goddess Shekinah, which the spelling of is, let's see, right there. There's been something very amazing here lately that that I have gotten more and more in tune with that female side of God. And I really think that, that perhaps that we should be encouraging that the women be connected into the female side of God, Goddess Shekinah, the men with God Shibham Foray. Of course, we have access to both of them because we are both of them. And when learning about this and knowing that, yes, this is true, because there are several religions that refer to a person when they see that the spiritual light is in them, or that they are spiritual healers and true spiritual healers, they say they have the Shekinah light. The Shekinah is in them. The light is in them. It is said that her effulgence, her radiance, is 65,000 times stronger than the sun. And if you happen to be so fortunate that when she passes by, that if her shadow shall pass over you, that you will be healed from every human affliction, disease, illness, injuries, etc., doesn't matter, that you will be instantly healed from them, and that you will never again suffer those human problems, those human health problems. So one can surmise that to heal is to use the left side of the body. To build the temples and bring into the spiritualism. And when you have these two coming together, then a mighty church and a mighty people has been created. They are that they are. And so this is a very interesting book. I highly recommend it. But know that what you are embarking on, that any time that you get into reading these religions, all these rituals and steps and stuff, that you are reading the masculine. Maybe the day will come soon when we will know more about the female side, like Queen Hatshepsut. She was an Egyptian queen, I think she was. She was a queen, and it is said that she was such an incredible leader that her people flourished well, and they were able to build amazing feats. Their creativity was everywhere that you looked. It was a very happy time. The people did very, very well. Likened to the time when Juno, when she reigned. But unfortunately her brother wanted her seat and all that she had built, and he killed her, and that was the end of that. Maybe they had the 1,000 years reign of peace at that time, and who knows? They lived for a long time back then. The masculine took over, and the spiritualism was lost, and the people scattered to the wind. Religion must be approached quite with much restraint regarding. One really should always understand that the spiritualism has been lost for a while, but it is coming back. This is why that these churches that sing these very upbeat, rejoicing, rejuvenating songs, why that people hunger and start coming, filling the sanctuary up, abandoning these other churches. There's so many of them even around where I live that play these just depressing. They're very depressive type of songs, and just some of them have made me feel like I just want to go out into the lobby and hang myself and just get it over with. I am not accustomed to that. It just like fingers on a chalkboard to me. I am into that. I want to celebrate. I need my body and my spirit rejuvenating. I need these songs that have that kind of tempo to them and help bring in that energy, because that is very healing energy and it is a very empowering energy. And when you have the masculine and the feminine that is so interconnected so well, relationships last and are so balanced. Just within one person, that relationship between your masculine and your feminine is balanced. I can sit here and I can wear heels and a gown and adorn myself in all kinds of jewels, jewelries, and this, that, and the other, and I can go to these engagements and stuff, and the next day I can put on a pair of jeans and a blue jean shirt, boots, western hat, and a pair of gloves and go out there and do like I used to, build an oil field, do construction, do electrical work, train a horse, cut down dead trees, chop away. And I can turn around and I can doctor animals, and I can put on relaxing clothes and go in and use my abilities to heal, to teach people how to heal their bodies. What is it that they can use? These basic, simple ingredients that you can get over the counter that can change your life in a moment, such as the knowledge of eating according to one's blood type. But I really don't want to get off into there. I just want to really talk about that, the understanding of what religion is and what spiritualism is, and that we unfortunately have gone into, we have been taken, not gone, we have been taken into deep of just the masculinity. Because if you want to know how much of the programming is in you of this, then start saying that God is a woman and watch how you feel. And there's like, oh no, God isn't a woman. Well, God is male and female. God is male, God is female, God is both male and female, and yet God is neither. God is spirit. God is an eternal being. But you can really start to understand just how much that they have programmed the masculine, the religion into us, that has been pulling us away from the other half that belongs with it. And it is unbalanced. And it is said that that there is in our time that we're seeing that the feminine, the spiritualism is rising. And this is why that you see a lot of our younger generations, that the males, young men, have a more of a softness to them. It's because that in them, they're not gay. It is that the spiritual energy is rising, and so the left side is becoming more activated, and so they are less likely to sit there and forcibly make their partner do what they want or anything into that. They are ones who are more cognitive about what is going on, what to do, and the creative energy. They are really bringing a balance back into this world. But anyway, this is all that I wanted to talk about and share with you and give today. And I hope that this helps you and helps you to understand what's going on inside of you. Because we are in this where this battling has been going on, but the balancing is entering in. And that the best thing that you can do to help your life is to welcome it in. It's not a threat to ever be feminine. It's not a threat to ever be masculine. Because there are times that we need that demands one side, and another time that demands the other side. And thankfully, because we carry those with us, we really have the tools to handle whatever comes into our life. especially when we understand it. Then we know love is never wrong, and the only time that you take a life is if it's to protect yours right at that moment, or one that you love. Love is never wrong. True, pure love is never wrong. And how this pure, true love, these pure souls are inundating our society and the younger generation. We have handed the baton to them, and how they are rising to the occasion. They are they are helping to inundate the spiritualism and help bring in the balance. Anyway, be blessed, be well, and may you always be at peace. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it has benefited you somehow. And most of all, that it has helped encourage you and made you feel that you kind of are, your ship is a little more righted and you can carry on another day.